Okay, so here's where I have a problem with, like, so Doug Ducey is getting attacked by all the conservatives, but the Democrats, you can commit murder, and they won't attack their own people, but Ducey is being attacked by his own people because they disagree. There should be dissent and disagreement all the time, so we can have a dialogue of some sort, but you're only allowed to hear one side of the story. Can't hear the other side. That's why there's anger. Ducey is treating COVID-19 in long-term care facilities on a need-to-know basis, as in we don't need to know. The reason he doesn't want to let us know is because he's going to be accountable for killing a lot of people. Governor Ducey is. Why? Because his leadership has screwed things up. Like Governor Cuomo, killing thousands upon thousands, forcing the elderly into long-term care facilities where we know. I mean, when this outbreak started going crazy, remember state of Washington was going nuts at like 70 people died in one day, all from one long-term care facility. And I don't know if they course corrected because the deaths slowed down tremendously in Washington. It's because they recognize it. The patterns were there, and our leadership were supposed to figure these things out and pay attention to the trends and stuff. The Florida governor did. Cuomo did not. Ducey, we're going to find out soon enough that he screwed up. It goes on to read from azcentral.com. From testing to PPEs to data disclosure, Arizona response to the COVID-19 impact on long-term care residents have been frustratingly overwhelming. At this point, will it turn around? 2 weeks ago, Governor Ducey and his administration pledged finally to test all the residents and staff of the state's 147 nursing homes for the novel coronavirus and secure personal protective equipment for facilities. Now, Arizona is similar to Florida. We have a lot of older people here, and we got a lot of people that travel here that are elderly. But Sun City, I mean, we have big communities of retirement homes or retirement everything here. I mean, this is a place like people like to retire, like Florida. And we don't know what the count is. Probably because we don't. I mean, there's just not much of an account. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy about any of this. We want real data. So speaking of data, this comes from Forbes.com. The most important coronavirus statistic: 42% of U.S. deaths are from 0.6 of the population. Think about that. Nursing homes and assisted living facilities, the number one COVID problem. 2.1 million Americans represent 0.62% of the U.S. population reside in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. And we're just now hearing about this. You're not gonna hear this. Won't be on Facebook. I mean, it'll probably be deleted on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else you get information. 2.1 million Americans. Our ancestors are being murdered, slaughtered, because we didn't pay attention to the trends. If I had a family member in the assisted living center, you know, I would have got him out of there. But there are states where you couldn't. They're being locked down in there. They weren't allowed out because they're going to kill everybody else. Instead, we were just basically did an extermination order on the elderly. This is ridiculous. And we should be mad. We should be mad because we're going to be old one day, and we don't want to be treated like this. And I just don't get, where's the outrage? There's outrage, but they're not. We'll hear about this much later. It's slowly coming out, but we're gonna hear about it, and we're gonna be ticked off. Too late. According to the analysis that Greg Gervin and I conducted for the Foundations for Research on Equal Opportunity as of May 22nd in the 41 states that currently report such figures, an astounding 42% of all COVID-19 deaths have taken place in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. So let that sink in a little bit there. 42% of all COVID-19 deaths are taking place in facilities that house 0.62% of the population. And 42% could be an undercount. States like New York exclude from their nursing home deaths tallies from who die in hospitals, even if they were originally affected in the assisted living facility. That's just not good. 70% of COVID-19 deaths in Ohio and 69% in Pennsylvania. Prior to last week, Ohio reported that 41% of COVID deaths were taking place in long-term care facilities, but updating disclosures last Friday, taking deaths prior to April 15th into account, upped that share to 70%. In Minnesota, 81% of COVID-19 deaths are of nursing homes and residential care home facilities. This is just insane. Insane. And you don't know who to believe. It's very easy to figure out the death count, regardless of how. The optimistic take. Those outside of nursing homes are at lower risk. There is one silver lining, or perhaps a bronze lining, to the COVID-19 long-term care tragedy. The fact that nearly half of COVID-19 deaths have occurred in long-term care facilities, meaning that the 99.4% of the country that doesn't live in those places is roughly half as likely to die of the disease that we previously thought. So that's what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. We have sadness. I know I get this is supposed to be a soccer podcast, but we can't have soccer. We can't go back to normal because people keep saying new normal. When all this data comes out, realize we murdered a bunch of people by forcing them into these care facilities for the elderly. We're gonna stupid, but I don't know. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.